Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am joined by a special guest, and the topic of our conversation today is going to be a little bit about love, actually. I am Michelle Mercurio. I believe that it is my mission in life to help people not miss their lives. And I do that in a variety of ways. But today we're going to talk a little bit about branding work and what it is that I can do with my clients and what they are able to do as well. So if you are an entrepreneur or somebody who is looking at your branding as being just something that is frosting on the top of your business cake, I think that this is going to open your eyes a little bit more about why you need a brand story, why you need to have the something deeper than copywriting in order to share your gifts. So today I am joined by Karine Charbonneau. She is a vegan matchmaker and dating coach who works with veg singles who are ready to invest in their future, be ready for love, attract what they seek, and meet their veg match without wasting times on dating apps and doing that annoying swiping left and right. And Karine is pretty amazing. She has this network of 20,000 plus singles across North America that she has worked with at various times in her career. And it is amazing to hear about what it is she does. So don't worry, at the end, I will make sure I link to everything so that you can too know a little bit more about Vegan Cupid and her Veg Love Vault for all of my vegan friends out there who are still looking to meet their match. Hi, Karine. Thanks so much for joining today.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
I want to start right in and just have you tell everybody a little bit about your business because I still love it.
So, as you said, I am a vegan matchmaker and dating coach, and I really work with vegetarians and vegans who are really committed to finding love, who are not into just looking for a casual hookup or go on a bunch of first dates. Really, people who are tired of the dating apps, and my goal is really to inspire people to be able to find love, how to love themselves first. And I take a really non-traditional approach to my matchmaking, not just because I'm vegan and only work with vegetarians and vegans, but I really see it as a whole comprehensive approach.
So tell us a little bit about how you got started, because that to me also is pretty exciting.
Yeah, so basically, when I was living in the San Francisco Bay Area, I had a bunch of vegan girlfriends that were telling me they couldn't find any vegan men. So I thought, that's crazy. We're in California, there's tons of vegans. I'm going to find them for you. And so I came up with the idea of doing a speed dating event. And I did it just for the fun of it. And at that event, there was actually a couple who met. They got married a few years later. So that was pretty amazing. I continued doing them, just on the side while I was doing my big other events. And then they just started becoming more and more popular. I moved back to Canada, and then I started doing them all over US and Canada. So that was like a huge, huge thing. It was amazing. And then a couple of years ago, I made the big decision to retire from the events and focus on matchmaking and coaching, which is really where my passion was. And it was the best decision ever.
Yeah, because you changed your program up a little bit. You started with the like you said, the in-person events, but really you're dedicated to something a little bit more deeper than just a transactional event.
Right. And you really helped me with that as well, because at the beginning I was just doing matchmaking, but then you really encouraged me to actually offer a program in addition to my matchmaking, which turned into this amazing 10-week program. And you were like so instrumental to that. I mean, I never imagined myself doing anything like that, but with your help, I create this amazing program that I am so proud of now, and it's really changed my life and a bunch of all of my clients' lives as well.
I love hearing some of your client success stories, because I think what happens is, I mean, I've joked before, like we're both in the business of love, right? Like, but in some ways you're way in the business of love. I more just want to make sure that my clients feel like the love of themselves as well. I think that that's something that we're aligned on. as they are going into their business and putting their selves, themselves out there. So tell me a little bit about, like, what are some of the fun things that have happened with your clients since you started this program?
Oh, there's been so many amazing things just from like people coming out of their shells, people realizing, how awesome they actually are, learning how to love themselves even more, and just realizing that it all starts with them and that it's 100% mindset, right? So I really coach my clients on being as open-minded as possible and looking at the bigger picture and not overlooking possibilities that are sometimes right in front of them, right? Which happens to so many of us.
Yeah, and to be fair, one of the things that you said was that your clients come to you and they're looking for matchmaking, but you knew deep down that they were actually looking for something a little bit more.
Yeah, because when I was originally doing the matchmaking, there were just a lot of patterns that I was recognizing in my clients that they really needed to work on. So no matter how many matches I could have given them, they would have never truly been happy because they had to do the deep inner work first, right? So that's why I created the 10-week program, to really teach them all these amazing things. And again, you were like so instrumental in helping me put that together. And it's just like, it's such an amazing program, from the modules, the exercises. The other big thing too that you were a huge help with was my comprehensive vegan dating Bible
I
that I
love that
call.
Bible. I love it. Okay, let's talk about the Bible, because I think that that thing is something that is, pretty awesome that you offer for your
Yeah.
clients.
Yeah,
So
so it was originally just supposed to be a guide, right? Just like a very short thing. But then as I was writing it, you were asking me more questions and you were helping me go deeper and deeper and deeper with it. And then it turned into like a 30-page thing.
which I love. But here's the thing. So what you said to me, and I remember you saying this too, is, and this was, a few months ago, and you were saying, I can do these high-end matchmaking things, but it's not going to work if they don't have the work. And, just like when people come to me and they're like, well, I don't know how to talk about my business, or I just need to be clear on what it is that I'm putting out there into the world on my marketing, or I just need the right plan to do it. It's never the thing that our clients think it is. It's always something that's underneath it. And so I think, and we can spend individual time with them going one on one on one. But as you know, and I know, a lot of the times it doesn't matter. Your clients and my clients, even though they are totally different people, even though they're seeking totally different things, they're being blocked by the same things. And I think
100%.
yeah, I think that having that kind of guide to not just address the, like, go do this, right? Anybody can, and I think of it in my industry as like a social media guide. You can download the $37 guide to your perfect Instagram, or you can actually transform how it is that you do your messaging and the way you think about it. And it's not a chore, and it's not something that has to be, a tactical deployment. You could probably tell people 40, 50, 20,000 different tips on how to meet the mate, right? But if they're not ready for that, or if they're going to then keep blocking themselves with something, you've got to remove those blocks first.
Yeah, and it's not something that you can do alone, just like with your work, right? Having the support and the guidance from someone who is coaching you along and being there with you every step of the way is so instrumental. Because yeah, you could read, a 30-page document on your own, but then you still don't quite know where to start or how to do it or how to implement it, and how to continue, moving forward. So
Right.
that's why working with an expert will really fast track your results.
One of the things that I love that you said to me is, you said working with you has been so much more than copywriting, and it's been more than you could ever imagine. So I would love to hear in your words what it is that is more than copywriting.
Yeah, because it's really like I would have one idea, but then you would take it to a whole other level, right? And you would do that by asking me the right questions that really, help me take the time to really think about deeply, okay, what is it that I'm trying to communicate? What is it that I'm trying to do? And that's not something that I could have done on my own. This is not just you rewording a couple of things. It's like it's magic, really.
One of the things that I loved about it too is I remember asking you this. I'm like, tell me about love. Tell me about how you feel about love. And you're like, I love love. And we ended up putting it in your bio just because it was so, I mean, it was like simultaneously like adorable. And it was also like this kind of deep personal admission. And I think that that's the balance that you have to strike. And you know, you're I want to get to your brand story here in a second too, because your brand story was one of my most favorite to write ever. But I want to just quickly go back and just say, like, I love how you said that they are your ideas, because I don't believe in so many ways. There's a lot of formulaic marketing out there, right? And people, I was on a call the other day and somebody said every marketer out there looks like the same marketer, or every coach looks like the same coach. And I think fundamentally we have to look like us and really be us. And so I love that that is where your focus is, because when I look at your website now, it just screams Karine to me. Like, it, not just you, but like your people.
Yeah, definitely. And it's like, and it's also been, you know, you've helped me also with the scripts and the outlines, like for my lives, right? And so because we did so much of that work together, it's really given me so much confidence. And I actually did an interview last week where I was being interviewed, and for the first time, I didn't have a script. I like totally free flowed. And even though I did it that way, people were still like, I got like 6 booked calls from one interview in 1 week.
That's amazing.
And they were, all of them, they all said that what I said really resonated with them, and that they just really connected with me. And I honestly don't think that I would be where I am now if it wasn't for you, because you really did take it, you know, out of me, and you helped me realize like all these different things. So yeah.
You have a really amazing presence anyway, and I know people connect with you, but watching you deepen it and watching you even vulnerably share, right? So there was something recently that you did in your Facebook Live, and you're like, it was very kind of surface level. And I'm like, Karine, you have to tell the story behind the story. Like, you have to actually talk about your divorce. And like, you would say it, but you would never go deeper. And I remember you coming back and you're like, wow, I had to go through that and feel that again. And that was good.
Yeah, it's not easy to be super vulnerable, but I think that that's why people really connect with me, because I'm not fake, and that people can really see that. And I share my story, all the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? So, and I think that's really important. You really have to be authentic and true to yourself, and people really appreciate that.
You know, I think that your brand story, I want to talk about that too, because you were talking about your story. And so this is kind of the primary story. You had a lot of great messaging and a lot of great posts, and people were engaged. You have, you know, a great group that you keep people engaged in all the time. But I really love that we've worked together in multiple ways. You know, you did say like developing your program, aligning your messaging, doing those Facebook Lives, doing those videos, taglines, email series, web content, but that brand story, I, you know, I love it when I write the brand story and I either start to cry or I get the goosebumps. And I still get the goosebumps when I think about yours, because it's truly one of my favorites of all time. You know, for me, a brand story should really just elicit chills. It should be the content on your website that speaks to your soul, people, and be like, oh, let me pull you into where it is that I am. And if you vibe with me in this way, like, let's make that happen. I want them to scream hell yes before they book that call with you. And it's not about your services. And that's what I love about your website. And it's findveglove.com, but we'll drop it in the comments as well. It's, you really talk about the transformations, and it is like the baseline for every part of your messaging now, you know, to really go back to that purpose of, you know, what it is that you do, your emails, your posts, how you talk about your business. So I wanted to ask you, I remember your initial reaction to your brand story, but I wanted just to ask you, like, what was the brand story experience like for you?
I mean, I had never done anything like that before, so it was a really amazing experience. And yeah, when you read it to me, I loved it. I was like, wow, like this truly is like encompasses, all my thoughts and feelings and how I want to portray myself to people, right? So it was, yeah, it was really incredible. I absolutely love it. And it totally is me. And that's like, that was just the beginning, right? The beginning, that's what we started with for the website. And then everything kind of, played on that theme. So yeah, it was really great.
And I know that we use parts of it. Like I still pull sentences, and when you and I are working on emails or something, and I'm like, how about this sentence here? Can we go ahead and put that in there to kind of wrap it up? Are there any, well, I think you said it, even in interviews, you're able to use different touch points from there to help people see who you are, what it is that you do, and really see themselves in you, because your brand story is actually a love letter to your clients, but it's really about you and them. And that's the thing, it's made this huge collective piece. So was there any, I guess, other way that you are using that story right now? I think it's pretty much for a lot of the things that you're doing.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely repurposing it as much as I can, and parts of it have become my intro in all my live videos, right? The like, I'm a matchmaker and dating coach. I love people, I love animals, and I love love. Like that's my tagline. I'm like that's I say that every time now.
I love that. That's awesome. I've watched one of your lives recently, and it was awesome to see some of the comments and things in there too. And I know that we worked together on your email series, and you already said this, that you started booking calls and booking clients from your email series, but you talked to me recently about a client that like booked you from an email, booked a call with you from an email, and you had said that it was a woman, and I don't even know if she ended up being one of your clients, but I know that there was somebody that, that there are other people that have been, but she said, I felt like you were speaking to me.
Oh yeah, that's happened on more than one occasion. I yeah, and that's the thing. You took my email game to like a whole other level, right? And it yeah, that very first email that we worked on together, someone saw that email, they booked a call, and that woman did become a client. And
Oh,
then yeah, and then I have had numerous other people say that they read my email and that it really resonated with them. So I'm definitely like, you know, hitting all the right points. And again, that's like, yeah, that's made a huge difference.
well, we have to make sure that like the next series is pretty lit as well, because I did read some of those emails, and I still think, damn. But that's what it is. It's not about marketing. It's really about actually speaking to the people who are your people. And that's one of the things that even is part of your brand story. I remember that we were talking about like what true love is. And part of your brand story is true love starts with you, and true partnership starts here, at Find Veg Love. So I want you to tell people why love is at the core of what you do.
Yeah, I mean, I feel very fortunate that I've found like two loves in my life, as I like to say. I was married for 15 years, and then things didn't end up working out, and then I found love again. And so, I love relationships, and I just want everyone to be able to experience that, because I don't feel that you need to have a partner to be happy, but it's about wanting to share life with someone, right? The day to day. And relationships are not fairy tales, right? They're complicated, and there's ups and downs, and but for me, the pros outweighs the cons. And I just want everyone to experience that. And I come across so many people who are really stuck and really blocking themselves, so I really feel that it's my gift and my purpose to be able to help them overcome that so that they can find love.
Well, you just said that part about that too. So why does true love have to start with your clients? Why does it have to start with them?
Oh, because if they don't love themselves, like how's anybody else going to love them, right? And it's also, when you love yourself, you are that's the energy that you're putting out there, right? You're happy, you're positive, you're confident, and you will attract the right kind of love. if you're negative and you don't think your person's out there and you're just really unhappy, you're going to attract bad energy. So I really believe that we are magnets and that you attract the energy that you're putting out there.
I love that you even put this mindset work in your program, and I do too. I mean, half the stuff is never the stuff that we think it is. So there's a lot of activities, but I love that you even put the law of attraction as part of your program, because it really is. And it's, I think about this with even my clients and with you and with other, just all of us. What we put out is what we're going to get back. And if we're not feeling clear, or if we're not feeling like light and ready to experience whatever's coming at us, then it's not going to work. You've got some publications coming up too. So I wanted to talk quickly about that, because I know that you are, you've got a show, a web-based show that's going to be coming up soon. You've got a couple of new features coming up and some cool publications. And I know that we recently edited one of your articles. Wait, before we go into that, I just have to say this. I am so impressed, because I've even watched your own writing and how you approach your writing evolve through our entire process. It has been amazing. And I think I even said that to you in an email last week, holy shit. Oh my God, girl, you totally nailed this. And you told me that when you went back, the editor loved the edits. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
what are the publications coming up?
I have in the Plant-Based Network, they recently created this magazine, and I'm going to have a feature article, which is pretty freaking amazing because I've never had that before. And it's an article about, the whole magazine is about fitness, but I was still able to find a tie-in with fitness and dating, right? So how to find a like-minded partner who is also into fitness. So that's one of them. And then Veg World magazine, I contribute to all of their magazines, which is really, really awesome. And yeah, you've really helped me, because that's big time. That's a lot of people reading that, right? It's an actual magazine. Yeah. So, and then the other thing too is my Zoom hangouts, right?
Oh yeah,
So
I want
that
you to
email,
mention those. Let's do that.
yeah, because that email. So I originally put together an email. Okay, I would say, okay, yes, my writing is good, but Michelle has a way to make an email sound so fun, like a party that you want to go to. And I was like, damn, I wish I could write like that. And so the email that I originally sent out to my list about this event didn't really get too many hits, not that much interest. And then of course she pretty much rewrote the whole thing, and it sounded so fun. And I forgot to tell you, Michelle, but I did end up selling a bunch of tickets from that email.
Awesome. Your email should sound like a party, and it shouldn't be something that makes people want to not click on it. It should be a party, right? That's one of my most fun things to do, is write those kinds of emails too. So it's kind of I get the joy, you get the joy, we both get the benefit, everything's good.
Yeah, you're so fantastic at bringing that energy. And I just feel like it's a style of writing that I don't quite have yet. I'm trying, because I am learning from you, and that is why my writing is developing and evolving. It's because of you. It's because of the emails that we work on together, and I guess I'm picking up a few things.
You definitely are. I was so proud of you. Seriously, I think I had tears in my eyes when I wrote you back that morning. I'm like, oh my God, yes, you're nailing this. And it was something that, Karine had sent to me. I had done some things. I asked her a bunch of questions. I said, how about this? How about this? Now, why don't you take a crack at it? And she wrote it back, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to have a whole lot of edits here. Move this, do that, hit submit. And it was I was blown away by how much that has evolved, because eventually, while I would love to write your emails into infinity, I know that you also need the opportunity to be able to think like this, so that you can just bang them out, make them sound like the party that they are, tie in some of the fun elements, because your people are fun. We really looked at who are your people? Your people are fun. They're often blocking themselves. They often have stigmas to overcome. Maybe they're a little bit jaded sometimes with the swiping and the dating, But essentially, they're really great people and they love love too. So I think that knowing how to do that and how to continue to attract that, I want you to be able to do that too.
Yeah, and
So,
I also did want to mention something else too, is
oh yeah.
that because I was doing the speed dating events for so many years, that's why I've been able to have this huge network, right, of vegan singles all over US and Canada. So my email list I've been growing it over the years. And there are people on my email list who have been on my list for years and years and years, okay? And so once I started working with Michelle and I really woke up the list with all this great content and this new style and format of emails, the clients, the majority of the clients that I have been booking are people that have been on my email list for years. So you don't need to have a humongous list. I literally have a list of 5,000 people. 2,000 of those aren't even active, and a lot of those people have been on my list for a long time. So it's like proof that you use what you have, and even if it's not big, you send out the right kind of email and you will get results.
And I think it's important to mention too, like my email list is way less than yours because I don't even have that big of a list, but I find people because they relate to the same ways that we post. You're posting too, as you're starting to move into, you've got a list and that list is gold. Like that is so fantastic. But you're starting to expand and your groups are starting to, expand. And now you're looking at like, okay, now how can I deploy this? And how do I put this into maybe even Instagram posts or things like that? So as you continue to build it, more and more people are going to end up on that list.
Oh, for sure. And it's like those emails, I'm like the queen of repurposing, right? I repurpose the shit out of everything that I have because that's what you need to do. That is the efficient way. You don't want to reinvent the wheel every time. So it's like I have this killer email. Why would I just use it for one email? I use parts of it all over the place.
Yep, absolutely. And that's not called repurposing, that's called consistency, baby. That is huge. Absolutely. Well, is there anything else that you want to add that is happening for you? What's coming up in your near future?
Yeah, well, I have my Zoom hangouts that are continuing. They are so much fun. I don't know how much longer I'm going to keep doing them. I'm going to keep doing them until people keep showing up and until there's interest. So I have, different themes. And my goal is to unite people beyond just the being vegan and single. So it's uniting people under a theme. So I've done wine lovers, fitness lovers. I'm doing a dog lovers. I'm doing astrology. So it's really to bring people together in the time, during COVID, a lot of us, are really feeling the need to connect with other people. And it's amazing. You get to be in your living room with a bunch of other vegan singles. You don't have to wear a mask. and it's lots of fun. So that's kind of what I'm doing these days while we're all trying to survive during COVID. And yeah, you can check out if you're on Facebook, you can check out my Facebook group. Like Michelle said, it's pretty active. I go live every week. Find Veg Love, and yeah, and
Yeah.
oh yeah, and of course you can get in the Veg Love Vault if you are interested in finding love, right? So get
Let's
on
talk
there.
about what the Find Veg Love Vault is, or the Veg Love Vault, because we renamed it. So Karen had this database and people were like, well, why would I get in her database? And so the vault is actually a place where Karen scouts for her premium matchmaking clients. So if you are in this demographic and you want to learn more, it's not like it's a public app where you're actually swiping through singles. It's really so you can get on Karen's radar. And
Yeah.
if you're a potential match, she might invite, oh, we didn't talk about the television show. She might invite you to the television show.
Yep. Yeah, so getting in the Veg Love Vault, it's like multi purposes, lots of good stuff, and you end up getting on my email list, which of course you can unsubscribe to at any point, no pressure. But you'll get to find out about the cool stuff that I'm doing, like the Zoom hangouts, the live videos, the blind love experiment, all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, most importantly, you could be considered as a potential match for one of my clients.
And the cool part, I want to see when the next blind love experiment is coming out too in the future. So I'm gonna keep up with that So, but I really appreciate you joining me today to talk a little bit about our work together. While, the biggest point is obviously, and you do this with your clients too, we love to have testimonial videos, right? We all do. But I think sometimes peeling back the layers and seeing how other people are using things gives everybody a really good idea of what to do with their brand. So if you have something that you would like to share, some sort of aha that came up for you, please let us know. You can drop it in the comments once this is live and posted. And I think, Karen, that I love working with you. I love working, I love the work that we did together. I love your website. I think it turned out beautifully with the content. And for those of you who do want to see more of the work we did and all of these amazing things that Karen just mentioned, you can find her at findveglove.com. You could check out that Veg Love Vault if you are a veg single interested in getting on her radar. And for those of you who are looking to be more you in your business and get paid for your purpose, stop the hamster wheel of transactional content so you can actually do the transformations that you are setting out to do. My website is michellemercurio.com, or you can book a call with me at the link that I'm going to drop in the comments. Thanks again, Karen, for joining me today.
Thank you so much.
And we'll talk soon.
Bye.